Moses Mabhida Stadium stage is set for the TS Galaxy and Stellenbosch FC Culling Knockout Cup final battle, where the two top five sides will be looking to make cup history. The opportunity to be the first team to lift the inaugural trophy is serving as motivation in the respective camps this afternoon. Newzroom Afrika sports reporter Vuyo Macoba is in Durban for us. Vuyo, how's the anticipation building up there at the stadium?
Good afternoon to you, Clement, once again, and to the Newzroom Afrika viewers. Slowly picking up when it comes to the number of fans that are filling in the stadium. It might not be the same as the MTN 8 finals or the Nedbank Cup finals that we've seen previously play here at the Moses Mabhida Stadium, and that's because of the two finalists that we are seeing today, not the highest of crowd pullers when it comes to Stellenbosch FC and TS Galaxy, but we're slowly seeing more of the TS Galaxy fans being the one that are sitting and filling up one of the stands. Stellenbosch FC fans, you would of course know, with the distance coming from Stellenbosch all the way here to Durban, might have been a bit of a struggle to bring some of the fans here. Durban not having much of the TS Galaxy or even Stellenbosch FC fans. That's why we are going to probably see a few number of fans and not the ones that are going to be able to sort of fill out this 56,000 sitter here, which is the Moses Mabhida Stadium. But I'm sitting in the media room now where some of the journalists have come together, of course, building up to this match, which is going to be kicking off at 3 o'clock. Some of the conversations that they've been talking about is just between these two teams, the possible team that is likely going to win tonight, you know, and make that history for either themselves, because both these teams, as we know, are pushing to get that first silverware in top flight football. But another sense as well, being the crowd pullers, whether we're going to be able to see a beautiful football on the pitch more than anything else. And one of those journalists, Dube, Far Post football editor, is joining me now. He's one of the guys that, when we're having this conversation, has been saying that, you know, beyond anything else, fans or no fans, but we are going to be able to see beautiful football today. Nthokosi, appreciate your time on Newzroom Afrika as always. Let's go back maybe to that statement. What makes you have this belief that we are definitely going to be seeing beautiful football tonight here at the Moses Mabhida?
Look, thank you so much, Vuyo. Look, I think it's quite interesting that we have a TS Galaxy and Stellenbosch FC in the final, not one of the traditional football giants of South Africa. I think these two teams have done very well for them to get to where they are now. It's not by fluke. Well-coached teams, clear playing patterns, consistency in terms of playing. I think the most interesting thing for me is that these are two teams that have lost a lot of players going into this season, and not just any players, but also just key players. When you look at TS Galaxy, I think they've lost up to 9 players. They've sold your Kevin Simangos, your Opas, your Butelezis, players who were key, to their team. The same with Stellenbosch. Most recently, they sold Oxumtetwa to Kaizer Chiefs. But still, they still continue to play good football. I think for me, it speaks of two teams that are well coached. And for them to even get to this stage, TS Galaxy accounting for Mamelodi Sundowns on the way, it tells you that they mean business. So it's exciting to see them come meet in the final, because you know for sure that it's going to be a good game of football. Forget that the fans may not fill the stadium, but the football will definitely enjoy a good game of football.
Maybe let's touch again between the two coaches. Siad Ramovic at TS Galaxy, I think about 3 seasons, came into the side about, I think, 2021, if you may correctly as well. But what he's been able to do at TS Galaxy, bringing that unity in the team is playing with so much fluency in the pack. And I know some of the conversations that are happening in between journalists as well is to say, who are some of the teams that are going to be either top 8 teams in the competition? And TS Galaxy is one of those teams that you sort of can put in that hat for the future. Team Sugazi has also done a great job in making sure that he mobilizes the players to sort of chase for events like this, which is reaching finals.
Yeah, look, I think he's done exceptionally well, and I think it's a big one for him because, I mean, with these regulations that SAFA are saying they're introducing, where coach needs to have won a cup. I mean, he came in this becoming his first job, as a head coach. I think he's done an exceptional job. You can see it's a well-coached team. I mean, players under him have improved. They've gone on to do. I mean, I don't think before he came we knew the opus that we saw. I don't think we knew the given Simama that we ended up seeing. There's quite a number of players that have improved under him. You can see, I mean, the way they play their football. Very, solid, well-coached team. So I think this is well deserved.
Stellenbosch FC, Steve Barker has been at the thick of things with the Stellies since the days of National First Division, coming up with the team, assistant coach, moving to head coach position as well. He's done a similar thing. Their team might not have the similar experience as TS Galaxy, maybe with the cup winners on their side, but they've got youth, youngsters that he keeps working with every single season, and these guys are able to come to the fort whenever it's demanded of them to, try and chase for events like this, competitions and cup finals. And we're seeing this with the past, events in where Stellenbosch has been reaching the semi-final stages of competitions, those losing them. But the fact that these youngsters have been able to rise up, it's all the work that Steve Barker is putting into that Stellies side.
A big one for Coach Steve as well. I mean, the last time he sat in a cup final was 14 years ago with the University of Pretoria. And I think he's done exceptionally well as well, I mean, that's a team that obviously brings in a lot of youngsters through their youth structures. I think we've seen quite a number of them excel. I think one of the ones that have impressed me is Jaden Adams. He's done exceptionally well. But there's something that I think we must note in terms of counter-attacking football. I think they're second to none. They're second to none. I think they do that very, very well. A lot of their goals come from, those counter-attacks. So I think it shows you it's a team that's properly coached, and they know exactly where their strengths are. They make use of that in games, and it wins them games. So I expect to see that at play today. And look,
goals are needed in the cup final, and both these sides carry players that understand the magnitude of such events, and we've been seeing it here in this competition. Semi-finals, Samir Nukovic scores for TS Galaxy at the same venue to make sure that TS Galaxy goes through to the final. There's also another player that is aching to get, his first trophy, having not won a trophy in South African top flight. So he will be the key man on the TS Galaxy side. But when you look at the Stellenbosch side, Ikram Reyners, once again coming to the fort in this competition, man of the match performances in the 3 games that Stellenbosch have played, also being in the front line of these two teams.
Yeah, look, I think that's going to be very, very key, and I do expect to see goals today, from both teams. I mean, when you look at how they, especially in the semi-finals, I think we saw, quite a number of goals. TS Galaxy in the same venue scoring 3 goals. And I think for Samir Nukovic, it will be interesting because the last 2 seasons have not been very easy for him. Football. He's been in and out of court. Now gets an opportunity, joins TS Galaxy. Within a short space of time, he scored, a good 3 goals. So it'll be interesting to see how the coach uses him, probably as an impact player, in the second half. But he definitely will be potentially a game changer. And Ikram Reyners, I think, he keeps, I think, the 3 men of the match awards that he's won in this competition show you he's a standout player for Stellenbosch FC. And I think today he definitely will be a key player for them.
And just in closing, Tor, we're talking about both these teams not being the traditional teams that are reaching finals, but it should say something about our football when we're seeing also younger teams being hungry enough to play like this one, and hungry enough to try and go for sort of these competitions. This sort of should be good for our football, right?
Definitely is a good thing, man. I mean, it tells you that the gap is closing somehow. Imagine a scenario where Stellenbosch would keep all their players. Imagine a scenario where TS Galaxy would not sell so many players. I think they would even be more competitive. I mean, the fact that they still are doing what they're doing despite having lost all those players tells you that they're making some good progress. So look, I think it's a beautiful thing for our football. Hopefully we get more coaches that are good at what they do, because I think for me the difference is the coaching. I mean, look, there's no way that you can maintain that kind of consistency when you've lost so many players without proper coaching, and also just being able to blood in youngsters into the team, I think, which is very, very key. So I think it's a beautiful thing for South African football.
In one word, who's taking it today?
I would give it to TS Galaxy. A very narrow scoreline, a 2-1 scoreline.
Thokozisi, appreciate your time once again. As always on Newzroom Africa, I'm Thokozisi Dube, football editor, just giving us a sense of what to look forward to in today's matches. TS Galaxy and Stellenbosch FC, and of course counting down to the 3 p.m. kickoff. Touching on some of the players that we can expect from both sides. Samir Nukovic scored in the semi-finals for TS Galaxy to send them to the final at the very same stadium. He's motivated to get his first trophy in top flight football or in South African football. On the other side with Stellenbosch, Ikram Reyners has been a standout for Stellenbosch FC. Man of the match performances in all the 3 games that this team has played. Of course, with Stellenbosch, that they've played in this tournament, having scored about, with the team scoring about 7 goals for them to reach the final of the Carling Knockout Cup. So, question is, who's going to be making history today? We'll be able to see that after the full 90 minutes. But it will take the good fortunes from other coaches who have done well in these respective teams. It's Siad Ramovic for TS Galaxy and it's coach Steve Parker for Stellenbosch FC. We'll continue giving this continuing coverage of this match here.